and welcome back to the 50 Shades of Blonde show. I'm Missy Day.
And Jill Branson.
And we're back in this beautiful studio again, and you have to check out our logo that's behind us. That's us, 50 Shades of Blonde, back there. It's beautiful. So, are you excited to be on another show?
So excited. I just love this. We feel so special.
We do. And we have some thank yous to do before we start the show, actually. We want to thank Todd Fisher, Catherine Hickland, Scott McCambridge for HPME Studios, where we have our home for our show now. Everything is always just so perfect and professional. And also, as always, we want to thank Erin Erickson, who does our hair for each and every show. So thank you, Erin, for always being awesome.
Thank you, Erin.
We appreciate it. So we have got some business we need to talk about for 50 Shades of Blonde.
Big business.
Big business. All right. So do you want to go first and tell the guests about our new format for our show?
Well, our new format, this is what we're doing now. We're going to have our guests on with us and be able to be part of the conversation. We're really excited about having it sort of a Jimmy Fallon type thing. The old Johnny Carson show where everyone got to interact, and it makes it so much more fun, and it's also great for you as the viewers.
That's right. So before, if you've watched our show before, it was very segmented. So we would do ours, it would stop, then we'd come back. And so now it's just the straight hour. So it's us being able to interact, and not only that, our guests then can be on set for the whole entire show and have an opportunity to interact with everybody else too. So one thing we want to mention, how many of you out there are Marc-Andre Fleury fans? Because we are. We love our hockey team. And so this is Marc-Andre Fleury's doll that they sell at the Armory. So for today, if you are watching the show, if you would click love and make a comment and then share the show to your Facebook page, you will be in the running to win Marc-Andre Fleury. Well, the doll anyways, not the real him. And a gift card for doing that. So remember, when you're watching the show, love, comment, and share, and you'll be in the running for Marc-Andre's doll and as well as a gift card.
And we need to see these. This is our cup. We love our cup, 50 Shades of Blonde.
We're just so darn official. I can't find mine, or else I would have brought it.
Yeah.
But I will show you my no logo swag that I have for my business, Missy Day Success Consultant. So never waste a day. That's my new mug. It's very cool. I'm very excited.
Love that.
So how about if we introduce ourselves and talk a little bit about our business?
Oh, that'd be good, wouldn't it? You go first.
Okay. I'm Missy Day, and I have a business coaching, consulting business, and I also do corporate training for large corporations with employees of 50 plus. So we talk about cool things like leadership, communication strategies, multi-generational training. You know, the first time ever in history, we have 5 generations in the workplace, and not all 5 share the same thought process about work ethics and things like that. So sometimes it's just good to work through those things. I love training. It's kind of like in my wheelhouse, especially for leadership training. And I love my one-on-one coaching business. My favorite thing is when people like Jill, for example, can launch a business and get clients and make money at doing things that they really, truly love. That's kind of like my thing. I love doing that. And of course, this show is another opportunity for business owners to get their face and their business in front of people that may not normally see them. So we like that part of it, our show, how that kind of like incorporates our business, right? Don't you think? It's a good marriage between our businesses and the show, and then also to highlight nonprofits, because that's so important. If you're going to be a business owner in this town, it's very important that you have that give back thought process. So you're giving back to the community as well as taking, because we all know givers gain.
That's right. That's right.
So tell us what's new with you.
Okay, so I'm Jill Branson with BNC Business Networking Consultant, and I love personal coaching as well because I have been there where you're new to the area or you're new to networking and you have no clue about what to do, or you've been doing it for a while but you're doing it the wrong way. So I help those that need to get out there and they need to learn more about networking etiquette. I also have networking groups. I have 2 networking groups called Vegas Connects, and I have one in Henderson, and soon on this Friday is going to be Missy Day will be our guest and our speaker, and we have quite a few, well, it's sold out at Mimi's Cafe on Fort Apache and Rampart, or Fort Apache and Charleston, excuse me. It's at that little corner there. And she's going to be, tell them what your subject is. It's so awesome.
Subject matter. Well, thank you very much for having me come and speak for your very first one. And let me just talk to you. Can we like reverse that? Talk to you a minute about Jill's awesome networking group. This is a group that Jill took over last year,
about a year
and
a half.
this year it's just like taken off and it's like going crazy now. So she has so many people coming to the Henderson one that you're actually looking for a place to move to, right? A bigger place.
For a larger location.
And it's gotten so popular that she's moving another one starting in Summerlin, and that's going to be the one starting this Friday. And how many people do you have?
Actually, 60 with 6 on the waiting list. And so I found out the room holds 50. so
It'll be nice and cozy.
I'll be nice and cozy. I've put an all points bulletin out asking if you are not coming to please let me know, because I have to let the restaurant know by Wednesday at noon, and that would be greatly appreciated. Also, I have mixers that I do quarterly, and they are for a different nonprofit each time. And my next one is coming up, and I'm really excited. It's going to be April 17th on a Wednesday. It's going to be at Flower Child.
I love that place.
Which is awesome. So those are all the things, and you can check it out and see that I post on Facebook everything, any event, and I do most of the things through Eventbrite. So that's my story.
Very cool. And my topic that I'm going to be speaking about on Friday is clarity attracts and confusion repels. Are you repelling your clients? So are you being like a big old can of Raid to your clients and they just like have had enough of you? So you want to make sure that you're not confusing your clients, that you're real clear on your message. So that's what I'm going to be talking about on Friday, and I'm looking forward to it.
So am I, because I think every time you speak, she always gives one little tidbit that I didn't hear before. And I've heard her a lot because she's always thinking.
I'm always talking.
She's always talking, that too. But anyway, so we're excited, especially for Friday. And the other thing we want to talk about here, we're going to be talking about sponsor packages.
Yes. So if you would love to come and be a guest on our show, we have like 3 fabulous chairs that are
Right
just
here.
waiting for you here, so you can come and talk about really anything you would like. If you want to focus on you, your business, or do a rant, we don't care, right?
That's right,
Come
we don't
on
care.
and share the show with us. So if you'd like to be a guest, the package price is $50, and that gets you a 15-minute segment on our show. It also will be advertised on Facebook, because our shows live stream on Facebook Live, and then it'll move to our YouTube channel, which we're going to be working on that. So there's a lot of things, like a lot of balls in the air right now, because we just moved to the studio
Right.
last month. So we're still working the bugs out on a few things. We're going to have a different set at some point. We're going to have like a nice sofa for people to sit in. We're going to be able to do, coming soon, like we can actually come to you and do a live remote, do our show from there, so people can have an opportunity to actually see you do what you do, where you do it at.
Right, exactly.
Which would be kind of cool.
And restaurants are really awesome.
Yes.
We love restaurants. That too.
Because they bring us stuff.
Because they bring us stuff.
You know,
yes.
we like gifts. And then we have our sponsor package, and that's $200 for 3 months. And that's where you, your business, gets a lot of attention on this show. So you will get to be on the show for a segment. You'll also record a commercial for your business, and then we'll talk about you each show for 3 months. So that's $200. And so if you know anything about marketing and advertising, that is really non-expensive for you to get a lot of
Really?
recognition on your show.
Exactly.
I mean, about your business on our show.
Yeah.
But if you want a show, you can do that too.
Yeah.
You just need to talk to Scott.
That's
And
right.
he'll like hook you up, and you too can be on this fabulous
right.
stage and act like a fool.
But do it with grace, right?
That's right, because we're professional.
We're
here at 50
professionals.
Shades of Blonde.
So anyway, we're excited about all this, and we definitely we see a lot coming in the future with the show, and we're always thinking of other ideas and what we can do to make it even more exciting than it already is. So stay tuned, because you'll keep hearing all the new things we have in store.
That's right, because it's always changing.
That's right.
So we are very excited today. We have 3 guests that are friends of ours. We have Dana Berggren, we have Vikki Kempker, and we also have Darcy Dougherty, who are going to be coming on to the show. So I believe all of our guests have been mic'd up and are ready to go. So our first guest is going to be joining us on set, and that's Dana Berggren. And she is the owner of the Coop in Summerlin area. And she's also one of our Nabo sisters.
Yes.
For Nabo. So go ahead and come and sit down.
Hi, Dana.
Hello, how are you?
I'm
Welcome.
fabulous. How are you?
We're good.
Good. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on.
This is amazing here.
Isn't it?
It is.
It's pretty cool, right?
This is really cool.
You actually feel like you're on like a real deal like set.
This is as real as it gets for me.
Yeah.
I've never really done this before, so this is feeling pretty real right now.
Good. So let's talk about, you know how much I use the Coop. I do a lot of workshops there. I did my speaker training there. So how did you come to the idea of starting the Coop?
I'm a commercial real estate broker, and 5 years ago I was working at a corporate commercial real estate company and decided to go on my own. So I was looking for office space for myself to occupy, and when you're a solopreneur, you need a pretty small space. So I was looking at the offerings that were around, and while I'm looking, I heard of this concept of co-working, and it was shared office space, much like executive suites, with more of a focus on community and collaboration. And I just really, something about that just inspired me to open up a co-working space. I was thinking about opening it downtown Las Vegas, and the more I would talk to people about it, they would say you should open it in Summerlin. Summerlin has nothing like that. So that's why I set out to open up the co-working space, and it's just been incredible. The people I've met there, the people who use the co-working space, the connections that are made. There's just really something about the need for community, the need to feel a part of something that has really resonated with people. So it's made the Coop successful thus far.
That's awesome. And I know, when I started out with my business, so you have your home office, but then after a while you feel kind of like you're missing out on things. You feel secluded, like you're saying, set apart. And then the going to like the coffee shops gets really old after a while.
Absolutely. I think when you're at a coffee shop, and I love coffee shops as much as you gals do, I really enjoy the coffee shop, but in terms of productivity and privacy, professionalism, when you have client meetings and stuff, you want to have a professional space in
Right.
order to do that. And while I was transitioning from working in an office downtown by myself to getting the coop up and running, I was working from home as well. And I have no problem with productivity at home. I am laser focused. I don't get distracted very easily. But it was to the point where I would have to go pick up my kids at school, and I would realize I'm still in my pajamas. I haven't brushed my teeth yet, and I'm going to pick up my kids. So it is nice to have a place to go, to
Right.
get dressed every day, and have that professional atmosphere. And then, you know, you might not need a conference room all the time, but when you do, it's sure nice to have one,
Right.
especially one that you can get last minute.
Yeah, and that's another thing. You know, the thing that's like kind of surprising to me is in this town, the size of it, it's so hard to find a space
Boy, no
to
kidding.
do workshops or anything like that. And it's like it's weird to me.
It is, and that's what's the nice thing about a co-working space is that it allows you the flexibility to use it how you want to. If you want to be a monthly member, or if you want to use it occasionally when you need, you know, for meetings and stuff like that, or just drop in and use the open space. So that's been it's been nice, and it's been really nice for me to be able to offer that service to people and to the community, and really to see the connections made among the people.
Right.
There's times I get a little overwhelmed where two people will meet each other, because that's the spirit of the co-working space as well, is that, you know, people know that they're there to build community and collaboration. So when I see people making a connection with each other and being able to work together is
That's
just, you know,
awesome.
you can't do that in a coffee shop.
Right.
I've been in coffee shops where you have a conversation and someone overhears what you're saying, and you're just like, oh, there's a wall here. You know?
That's right.
So it's almost like there's a time and a place. So it's nice, and you don't really have the opportunity in coffee shops or public settings, and certainly not in your home,
Right.
to talk to other people
Right.
and you know, talk about what you're working on or what you might need help with. So.
I know when I've gone in there for workshops or events that you've had, what I've found is that you can tell the people that are in there, because they're all just like so excited to see you, and they're all like really good friends. All the people that come there, and they're there most of the time.
Yeah, and it is. It's one of the things that I missed, and I knew that I would miss when I left the corporate commercial real estate big office, was because I really, really enjoyed working with the people and just the talk, you know, the water cooler talk, the
Yeah,
small talk
right.
of people popping into someone's office and just, you know, chatting a bit. And when you're at home working alone, you realize you don't really have that.
Right.
And then when you are finally in a social setting with someone, there's almost that awkward, like, I haven't talked to anyone in a while. Am I being okay right now?
Right.
Well, I know you're a strong supporter of small business, and I know that this is your way of helping those people that are new to business, or not necessarily new and just starting out, but just anyone that wants to come there and get to know other business owners.
Absolutely. We support all different kinds of businesses. So the small business owner. Also, we have remote workers who might work for large corporations who are based in other cities, and they just need an office here to get some work done. So there's a whole, you know, the whole gamut of business owners and employees work with us at the Coop. But also some of the amenities that we have there. I serve locally roasted coffee, and sometimes we'll change out the coffee providers for us. But that's really nice to be able to highlight the local coffee movement here in Las Vegas as well,
Right.
because there's so many wonderful, you know, mom and pop coffee places. And I had a local furniture maker do some of my furniture. I had some local art on the walls and stuff. So it's really nice. You'll have to come in and see who's there.
Yeah.
and see, you know, some of the stuff that we offer there from locals. Would love to chat more about it.
So the space, so when you come in, so Dana's office is to the left, and then you have the large conference room, and then there's like a little room with a chair, and then the small conference room, and then the offices. So then the space in the back. So talk to me about that part. So like there's the sofas and things like that. Is that just for members, or can you also, is that space rentable for something?
It is. So so the space in the back is that's the open co-working space. And what's nice about that is that it allows people who might not have the budget for the private office, or for people who don't necessarily want to be in a private office with a closed door. So it allows them at a lower price point to sit at the open co-working space in the back. And we do have the cozy couch area too. And you can rent the back area for a larger open meeting in the back, usually after hours or weekends, because sometimes our events there can be a little crowded, so I don't want to disrupt the people who are there doing work. But also people who purchase day passes. So sometimes people will just be in from out of town for a couple of days, and they don't want to work out of the hotel or their friend's house or wherever they're staying.
Right.
So they'll want to be in an office space to get some work done. So they'll buy a day pass, and they can sit in the co-working space as well.
Well, let me ask you about NAWBO
Yes.
and what you are doing with NAWBO and your position, and how you align that with your business.
Sure, absolutely. Well, I always like to get involved with organizations. I like to be out and about and meeting people, and previously I had been on a couple of boards of commercial real estate organizations, and when I went out on my own in 2014, I had heard of NAWBO. It kept coming up in conversations. And I thought, you know, maybe I should go, you know, see what it's all about. The National Association of Women Business Owners. And I thought, wow, I'm a solo commercial real estate broker, and I'm about to open up a co-working space, and I'm a woman business owner, and so I thought, let me go check it out and see what it's all about. And I went to a couple of the luncheons and just really enjoyed getting to know people. And I said, you know, I've been on boards for so many years now. They wanted me to run for the board. I said, I don't want to be on the board. I'm really busy. I've got a lot of stuff going on. And I said, I'll help out however I can. And of course, wound up being on the board because, you know, just my passion for being involved and for, you know, seeing the organization do well. So now with NAWBO, I chair the programs committee, and I also chair public policy and advocacy. So that's really, you know, following legislation that impacts not just women business owners, but business owners in general. And I, you know, equally support, you know, men and women. My co-working space, you know, we have members of all different kinds. So just being on the women business owners kind of aligned with where I was at as a woman-owned business who has two businesses. And it's just nice. It's nice to have a tribe of people, what they call the sisterhood. And it really does make a difference. It's nice to be in a professional business setting, but also to be surrounded by women who, you know what you're going through. You can talk about family and, you know, different sorts of personal things that you might not be able to talk to at other business organizations. So I've really enjoyed it, and it's just such an amazing group of women business owners, so supportive. So I've really enjoyed being a part of NAWBO and to know everybody, including you both as well.
That's how I met you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, how would people, if they're interested and would like to talk to you more about the Coop, how would they get a hold of you?
Okay, well, now that I know what camera I'm looking at, oh, there it is. So our website is thecoopcowork.com, and the phone number is 702-636-9101. We're located at 1925 Village Center Circle in Summerlin, and that's how you would get a hold of us.
It's awesome. I would suggest that you check it out, and because it's a great space. I like going there. It feels very homey and very comfortable there. I really like it. So thank you so much.
Yes,
being
thanks for coming
We
on.
appreciate it so much.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
You're welcome. So our next guest that's going to be joining us on set is Vikki Kempker, and she is the owner of Upside Business Solutions, and so she'll be joining us. So I'm going to ask that you take the next seat
Graciously
over.
slide over.
And while we're waiting for Vikki, I just want to say a special shout out for our set director. We have a set director, and her name is Julia. Overwise. And she's right off camera, and maybe if we talk to her real nice, she'll pop on for just a second, maybe.
Come on
and
over.
she brought us this beautiful orchid for our
Isn't
set.
it pretty?
Right here.
Come right behind us.
Look right there.
Okay.
Everybody say hi to Julia.
I guess I have a new position.
Yes.
I'm blonde, so I figured.
Yeah, she fits
You're
in
hired.
very well. Thank you, Julia.
You're welcome.
Well, thank you, Vikki, for coming on. Vikki joined us when we had our other show at the other place.
Yes. Love this facility. This is beautiful.
Isn't that nice?
It is very nice.
So thank you
Yes.
for coming on again. So
Thank you.
kind of update us on what's been going on with you lately with your business.
You know, it's been a roller coaster of a ride having your own business and being able to introduce the product. So I'm working with business owners, HR directors, recruiters to make sure that they're hiring the best that they can for the job expectations. But I've also realized that I'm getting a lot of teams that are already together and helping them to make sure that they are having the best potential conversations where everyone's within their own strengths. So doing the Colby assessments is really the foundation of my business, and then also helping with job descriptions and getting that company culture the way that that business owner, that leader intends it to be.
So we were in a group, a mastermind group with Vikki, and so she was kind enough to have us all do the Colby assessment, and it was the most fascinating thing for all 10 of us to sit there and basically get the Colby assessment, and you're looking at it, you're like, oh my gosh, this is me, like dead on.
Dead on,
You
for
know,
sure.
What I love about it is it's results driven. You know, when you take the Colby assessment, you take it as how you would act if you're free to be yourself. So the questionnaire is what you're most like and least like, and then it puts it into categories that allows you to understand how you gather and share information, how you organize information, your risk versus uncertainty, and the hands-on tangibles. And when somebody understands what their natural strength is, and when they're going against their natural strength, how draining it is, and you have people that are in a team that are using their own natural strengths, but they're different than their own, where that potential for conflict is.
Right.
It can then help understand, well, no wonder when Missy and I have a conversation, she wants to provide a lot of details, and I want to be bottom line. It allows me to go, okay, you know, take a second and gather the information, or kind of say, let's hit the pause button because I'm tapped out on what I can gather, and it allows that conversation to be authentic and not having the eye roll and all the other typical things that happen in conversations when we're not able to follow with what that person's doing.
Right. What did you, I know that you have your results right there. because she's always prepared like that.
Congratulations, Jill. It's right here.
You are perfect. You have
I'm
a perfect
perfect.
score.
They told me that in my email.
And and why it's so amazing is
She can explain
when
it.
when we act within our natural strength, we are perfect. So Colby focuses on your natural strengths and does not focus on weakness. So again, if you put Missy and I together, Missy is detail oriented. I'm very bottom line. There's nothing I'm going to be able to say and do to be able to get this weakness of being bottom line, if that's perceived, to be able to be detailed and be able to do research. So it doesn't matter, it would be exhausting, and I would never be able to meet your expectation of gathering and sharing information. So that's where why everybody's score is perfect, and you focus on your strengths, you're using your time and your energy most efficiently and able to problem solve within your natural ability. Now, Jill's is unique because, not unique, everybody's is unique, but Jill is what's called a facilitator. So she's kind of in the middle and able to understand people who are on both ends of the spectrum. And the other part of it is when you do have a conversation with somebody, if you're talking to Missy and she's being detailed and bottom line, or being detailed, then you can pick up on that and gather right into it. For me, the first thing I like to do is brainstorm. So if you and I are getting together, we can start brainstorming, and that would be easy for you to adapt into that conversation easily. So a lot of times people who have the middle, even middle of the road, they're great on boards, great managers, because they're able to understand and kind of make both sides understand and avoid as much potential conflict as possible.
So give us an example of what type of companies would be your target market.
So ideally it's a small, anywhere from 10 employees or more. So really that's where, number one, the business owner has a pain point in hiring. They've understood going, how much time and energy and money does it take to train this person? So the more time, energy, and money it takes to train somebody, the better they would be to be able to take the assessment to say, here's this person's natural strength and here's the job expectation, and how does that match up? But in teams, it's dynamic to be able to say, we've got a project to do. If you knew everybody's strength, if you've got a bunch of people who are all in the weeds and gathering and sharing information, that project's not going to be successful. You've got to be able to have different types of strengths in that project to be able to see it from being created to being finished.
Right.
And if you don't have that in your team, no matter how much time and energy and how whatever the consequences are, if you don't have those team dynamics that are going to be able to be full spectrum of what the Colby strengths are, there's 12 strengths, that project will never get done. So usually it's the small to mid-size that feel that pain. But a lot of the small businesses who say, you know what, you've done a great job at doing X, I'm going to promote you to this, you get promoted to incompetence, and which is what happened to me. I was doing great and successful as a sales director. They promoted me into operations. Well, the whole job expectation changed.
Right.
And that job expectation then kicked it out of my natural strength. And now this is all before I knew about Colby. So otherwise I would have said, no, thank you.
Right.
But I was frustrated with what I was doing day in and day out, and they were frustrated with me. Even though I was loyal, hardworking, giving it my all was never going to meet those job expectations, which it's always going to be frustrating on both parties.
Right. Well, I think it's fascinating. It's,
I do too.
in corporate, there's always personnel at Myers-Briggs, the whole list. I've done them all. But the Colby was the first time that it actually gave me information that was actually useful and that I could use not only for myself, but for my clients, as well.
Yeah, and there's 3 parts to the hiring process, or you've got somebody what's their knowledge and their skills, so that's the cognitive, and then you have the affective, and that's going to be what motivates somebody. So that's a lot of the assessments, DISC, Myers-Briggs, Strength Finders, all of those 5 languages of love and appreciation. That deals with what motivates you. Are you an introvert? Are you an extrovert? Are you money driven? Are you purpose driven? Colby's the only one that says when we're taking action, what is our natural strength? And so it's the only validated and scientific way of being able to determine what your natural strength is in that problem-solving decision. And if you think about it, most conflict at work isn't necessarily the person, it's the expectation. Well, Vikki, I needed you to be detailed, and I was never going to meet your expectation. I needed you to be able to adapt to a process. There's no structure. You need to work within that. if that's not my strength, I will never succeed. And that's, then all of a sudden it takes it from the eye rolling, and now it turns into a personal issue because, you know, Vicki's rolling her eyes, or this is what's taking place. So Kolbe is that third piece of the puzzle that allows you to understand is this the right person for the job? In the same token, as I can show you my resume, I can tell you all the things you want to hear, and a lot of times you'll hear somebody going, this is not the same person that showed, you know, that I interviewed that showed up on the job. And it's really because I can say that I'm detailed, but am I detailed to your expectation? And if the answer is I'm not detailed to that job expectation, I can say whatever I think is the case, but I may not realize to what level that would be at. So the Kolbe helps determine, is that natural strength in alignment with what that job expectation is? And if it is, then the personality and the skills are then going to complement to make sure that that person's going to fit into that business culture.
Right. Yeah, when I was a hiring manager, I would, you know, they would come in with their resume and I would just kind of like turn it over. Because it's like, just like you're saying, you can put anything
That's
you
right.
want and make it look really pretty and I'm great and hire me.
Right.
And I would just start asking scenario questions, you know, and have them answer those. And because even if you ask somebody what their strength is, we all know what an employer wants to hear,
Right.
you know, for our strengths and our weaknesses. So it's like,
Yeah.
My weakness, I'm a hard worker. I work too many hours. No.
I'm a perfectionist, that's my weakness.
Yeah. So Kolbe will help you understand then, you know, what your natural strength is, and you know that's, and it's great for relationships, for friendships, for kids. I mean, all of these to understand
Sure.
what
Whole
you're
family.
up against. You know, it helped me understand when I'm having my daughter do the chores. If I say I need this, this, and this done, it tones on deaf ears because I need a plan and I want one thing at a time. So I'd have to go, okay, here's the plan. You have until the end of the weekend to get this done in the bathroom and this, I mean, I'd have to lay it out for her and then it would be successful. But if I did it the way I communicate best, it was blah, blah, blah. And it's hard enough on teenagers, but it just made it worse because I wasn't talking and allowing her to make those decisions on her actual strengths. So I just laid out the expectation and the result and allowed her to do it the way I knew she would work best.
That's awesome. So Dana, have you taken personality tests?
I have taken those tests before, and I enjoy it. You know, not only does it let you, what I liked about it is that it reminds me of what my weaknesses are, so that I know in dealing with other people, you know, where I need to be. But what I like is that it reminded me of my strengths, because at a time when you're an entrepreneur, when you're a solopreneur, a lot of self-doubt creeps in and second guessing and stuff. So I like how some of those tests will remind you that, oh yeah, I am that. So I definitely know that I am not the, I don't like to do the mundane tasks and everything like that. That's definitely apparent. But what I enjoyed, Vicki and I have talked before about, you mentioned your daughter and how kids can take it, probably adolescents. Which I think is amazing, because we look at some of our kids in these group projects and stuff, and a lot of the same thing happens, like what happens to us in the workplace, is that you rely on somebody to do something only to find out that's not their strength and I shouldn't have relied on them to begin with. So I think to have kids do the Kolbe.
You know, and the other interesting part of it comes down to, you know, people who are, what they claim is, they get labeled. They're either, you know, they can't sit still. Well, that person that they can't sit still, maybe they're a quick start and they are constantly going, I want this, 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 and this. Or if they are labeled OCD, they need a plan and they need something detailed. They need structure. And then they get labeled in school, or even, you know, someone who's asking why, they're using their strength. And then they get labeled, and then it can create a whole different set of arenas. But if you stop and look at some of those, they're using their strength. They just don't know how to verbalize that that's their strength, and instead they get placed on a label, which is a whole other subject. So yeah, to be able to do that, and to the point of being able to understand what our strengths are, to know that if I need success in a project, I don't want to hire somebody that's just like me. If I'm an owner, if I'm a manager, if I hire somebody like me, we're not going to get completion.
Right.
I need somebody then for me that would be somebody who's going to be able to do all the data and the research, and who's going to be able to put together a plan. And now I'm able to take my strengths, throw out my brainstorming ideas, and let somebody else take it and run with it, because now that may not be within my strengths. And if I bring somebody on my team or as my assistant, I can then get success in my ideas, making them to fruition.
That's awesome. Our stat clock has gone. I don't know what happened to it, so I have no idea
It's
where
all
we are as
gone.
time.
It's time for her to leave now. Don't take that
Well,
personally.
no, don't leave yet. 'Cause
Yeah,
if
no.
people
We
want
just
to get a
have our-
hold of you, how are they going to do that?
Yes, that's
So my
very
website
important.
is upsidebusinesssolutions.com, and my phone number is 702-840-4240.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming on
Yes,
again.
thank you.
We love
Thank you.
having you here.
Appreciate it.
So if you're a business and you want to take your business to the next level and make sure that you have the right people in the right seats, I would highly recommend that you give Vikki a
Definitely.
call and have her do the Colby assessment for your staff.
Thank you.
Thank
It's
you.
been fun. I appreciate it.
Good. So we are getting ready for our next guest. And so you have a lot going on over here on the table. I hear
I do.
vibrating, I hear dinging.
I am terribly sorry, but I hate to tell you this, but I have it on, the vibrate is this, but I have this on silent and it's still talking to me. But I don't want to shut it off, then we'll be off the TV, off Facebook, so sorry about
And
that.
as a reminder, if you're tuning in and watching, to love, comment, and share
Please
our
love.
show on your Facebook page. You'll be in the running to win Marc-Andre Fleury. You can have him in your house, and as well as a gift card.
That would be so exciting. I'd love to have him in my house. Sorry, Ron.
So our next guest is also somebody that has been with us before, and she's coming back again. We love it when she's on the show because she always brings fun goodies that we can play with. And so welcome Darcy Dougherty to the show.
Yes, welcome.
Well, hello.
And look at your pretty hair.
Yes,
Well,
your
thank you.
hair
Yes,
looks
Aaron
lovely.
did it.
Aaron did it, yes.
That's good.
So, so you create wonderful things and allow business owners to show off themselves on fun stuff. And you brought one of my favorites.
I love
I
those.
love his
They're
hair.
So cute.
Wasn't that the cutest thing? And so, actually, this has a purpose. It's more than
It
just his
does.
hair, right?
That's right.
You can clean your computer board with it or the screen with the hair.
Very
And they call them
cute.
mop
So
tops.
cute.
So
Mop
cute.
tops. Love
It's
it.
and it's a good pen too. So it's just something fun. Promotional products for your business, your organization, they can be really fun. They don't have to, just be standard things. They can be something kind of different.
That's right.
I love this. This happens to say Vegas on it, but it is for your car, for your cup holders. And it absorbs the water and
Oh,
everything.
yes, I
And you
have
can put
to have
your
one of those.
company logo on there and give these out to customers, and then they're driving around with it. We find in independent studies that promotional products, people like to either have them on themselves, either in a pocket or in a purse, or they like it in their car. And the next one behind that is having it in the kitchen.
Oh.
So here's something for the car that is kind of different, and
love
it's
that.
a nice affordable
too.
item too, in the 100 minimum. So I like that, and this was so fun. We got these at our show this year. There's a lot about the plastic straw issue.
Oh, right.
And so all kinds of things are coming out in the straw world. And I like this, a nice presentation, put your logo on there. This is a stainless steel straw and a pipe cleaner to clean it.
Oh,
So
how
if you
cool
use
is
it in your
that? That's really
Starbucks, drink, you can
Right.
clean it out when you're done. And then you've got this nice bag to put it back in. So how cool is that? And your logo on there. So
That's awesome.
that's
Love that.
another item that I think is going to be hot because we've got to do something about the plastic straws.
Right.
So we've got to come up with different products, and I really was excited
Look
about
at how
that.
cool.
Thing
Yeah.
ever.
Isn't that neat?
Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
Because actually, I was thinking about that the other day because I forget where I was at, and somebody was advertising the stainless steel straws, and that's exactly was my thought. I was like, how do you clean in there? How do you know what's living in there?
Yes.
This is perfect. I love
Yep.
that.
Some other little things out
They
here.
come in different colors, I'm sure.
Do they come in different colors?
Oh yeah, you can get all kinds of things, different shapes, different colors, different materials. There are all kinds of things coming out in the straw world. So, to keep track of. You had the little guy here, the pin. Pins are your number 2 return on investment in the promotional products that you give out to someone. And over 80% of people, when you give them something, will remember you gave them something and remember your brand. And that's huge. And that was done by an independent study, and I really like that. Number 1 is logo apparel, like what I'm wearing here. And we handle any kind of apparel, hats and shirts and jackets and pants and socks. We've even had underwear embroidered for a wedding.
Well.
Where they did this thing, It was a little unusual, but it happens. Bags are next, and we've got anything from, less expensive type of bag, like we give out our shirts and orders in, or high-end bags like this nice beach bag.
Oh, very nice.
Very nice
that
on the
would be
inside.
you.
So
That would
it's,
be Missy
and
Day.
there's 50,000 different bags out there, all kinds of bags.
Wow.
There's 40,000 different pins. So I can find anything for you in your price range and what you're looking for, provided you're realistic. You're not going to get a Mont Blanc for $10, but
Right.
we can do that. So that's a fun thing. This is something new where you want to send a greeting card and have your video message in there.
Oh, inside.
You can have, instead of
Cool.
having, you can actually send a message to somebody on this,
Cute.
So I thought that was kind of fun from our show. It's something a little different. We do anything in print as well. We did these for Julia that you just had over here for white tie
Those are
organizing.
wonderful.
And so people could take down notes of things that they wanted to do. And those have been working out well for her, she tells me. And I also do an opportunity for people to get what's the latest trends. What are the latest trends going on that is being successful out there on the market that people are ordering? What's hot? What's hot? So we do these every year and hand them out to our customers, our B&I groups. In fact, I did this last week, and just before coming here, one of my B&I and good clients asked about the straws. She wanted, because I took those, and she wanted to know about a reorder on a product that she had. But the product that she had, she'd gotten the idea out of the catalog. So that was pretty
great.
cool. And the last thing I've got here, I wanted to show you, 2 things. We did some promotional things this year as a result of the show. And this is kind of a subtle, our logo's on there, but it's a journal, and nice journal.
Well, that's nice.
And a lot of people are journaling these days, so we thought that was fun. It comes in a nice presentation box too, and I like that. And then this, we did again a very subtle type of logo on it, which you can do. And this is the kind of container that keeps your ice, in it for 24 hours. And sometimes you can get a really super buy on something, and that's another advantage of working with someone local. We watch for specials. We watch for interesting things that come out that can save our customers money. And I see you have our class.
Yes, I wanted to show our Rotary is having, Summerlin Rotary is having their Mardi Gras tomorrow night, actually. And this is the hurricane glass that Darcy did for us, and we had to order 140 something of them. And thank you to Steiner's Pub. Gave us it sponsored these glasses, but they're wonderful, great heavyweight, and we're just really pleased at how the logo and everything went on it, our Summerlin logo. So thank you very much for that.
Well, we love the promotional product and logoed apparel business. We also do fine awards and have a number of customers that span all of those categories and what they use us for. But the advantage of using someone local is the fact that we stand behind everything we do. If it's not right, if it's not like how you signed off on the proof, we're going to get replaced. If it's needed for a particular event, it has to be here by a certain time. We do everything within our power to make sure that happens, even on a rush order. Not always can we do a rush order on a product, but many times if somebody's like, oh my gosh, I forgot to order, you know,
Right.
and I got an expo coming up next week, we can make something happen that will work for the clientele that you're looking for in your business. You know, what's going to match that customer that they're going to go, wow, yeah, I like this. I'm going to keep this. I'm going to use it in my car, in my kitchen, in the bathroom, whatever. And that I'm going to remember to call you when I need your service.
Well, I can definitely say that you went above and beyond with your service, and we really appreciate that.
Thank you.
And well, I have to get a new one now because I rebranded, but the polo shirt that you did for me is beautiful. The embroidery, I think, it makes it stand out even more. And you have stories all the time about how when you go out and you wear your logo shirts, that people approach you, right? And you get business from your shirts.
Yeah, we really do. It's, you know, and if you're in business, regardless of what the business is, regardless if you're just starting out, you gotta let people know you're in that business. Even a logoed shirt, jacket, or even a name tag where you're out and about and somebody sees it and they say, oh, what shirts, logos, and promos, what do you do? And, you know, you can talk about it. It's a possibility of getting a new customer.
Right.
But, you know, so many people keep their business like under their hat or something, you know? I mean, they don't talk about it. How are you going to get new customers if people don't know what business that you're in? And that's what logoed apparel can do for you. That is what giving items out at an expo, when you stop to see a potential new customer, leave a little gift with them. You know, something unexpected, something they can use.
Right.
You know, don't just, you know, give something that someone's gonna go, and it goes into the trash.
Right.
Although I have an interesting story with that. We do jar openers, and one of our customers sent it out in a card. And one of his customers was a former NFL player. And he opened up the card, read it, saw this, threw it in the trash. Then he went to the doctor and he was having some problems with this arthritis in his hands, and the doctor said to him, you need, when you go to open something, use something to open it so that you're not putting extra pressure on your joints and everything. And he went home, got it out of the trash, put it in his kitchen, and was using it. And he told our customer the story. So, you know, it's amazing. It really is. And the people that will have something, one of our customers said, I gave a pen to an attorney 2 years ago, and I met with him the other day, and he opened up his briefcase and he pulled out the pen. He's still using this pen that I gave him 2 years ago. And he was really pleased about that. And, you know, that's an example. They have a life. You
That's
know,
right.
And if you leave them places, like take pins in your purse and leave them with the person taking your order, it'll travel, and it just might end up with someone that goes, oh, this is cool. You know, I've been thinking about such and such. I think I'm going to give this person a call.
I love that. I remember the first time you told me that was like a long time ago when we were going to BCN, and you said leave your logoed pens, your pens, out at restaurants or wherever. You know, make it all around town. So that's a really good idea. And the pens, I mean, if you can do nothing else, right? The pens are a good way to go.
Yeah, like again, it's a second return on your investment, and we can do pens anywhere from 19 cents on up. It all depends on the pen, whether it's plastic, metal, if it has a light on it. Those are very popular right now. We've got a whole bunch of different kinds that will light up if you want them to light up if you're in a dark place or you're in a restaurant and you're trying to sign a bill or you're trying to read the bill. So it's we really work to help you match whatever the product is with your customer, your ideal customer. Who are you trying to get to call you? And to try and do it in a price range that's going to work in your budget. So, you know, we both Bob and I, with Shirts, Logos, and Promos, we have marketing backgrounds. We've run organizations. We've run large organizations as well, and understand the value of building loyalty, creating your brand, and marketing your brand. And that's what we try to do for our customers. Use that expertise to help them maximize that dollar spent.
That's
'Cause
right.
That's what, you know, we all want to do, right?
Right.
Keep our expenses down in our businesses.
Awesome. So if somebody would like to order something, what is the best way to get a hold of you?
Best way to get a hold of us, they can go on our website, which is Las Vegas Logos with a Z.com, or they can give us a call at 702-565-1522. And or on Facebook. I'm on Facebook personally, and we have a Facebook page for Shirts, Logos, and Promos as well.
Awesome. So this has been,
We do these too.
oh,
We
you
don't do
do?
him, but we do all these kinds of things too.
oh, cool. Do you have to have like something special in order to be able to do the nights?
Oh yes, you have to be licensed. Yeah, and those licenses are hard to get.
Yeah.
So, but if you you know, if you wanted your face on a bobblehead and then you wanted to give them out, or on a
Oh my
little
gosh.
stuffed person,
How fun would that be?
it's a possible
Missy
thing to
and
do.
Jill. I
want
They're
my
not.
face
It's
on a
not an
bobblehead.
inexpensive venture to get it set up and get going on it, but it can be fun.
Yeah.
That would be
Sounds
fun.
like great fun.
So
All right.
let's recap this awesome show that we had today.
Yes.
So we have Darcy Dougherty, owner of Shirts, Logos, and Promos. If you want to people know who you are by leaving gifts, anytime you go see a client, you really should be leaving something behind. You really should. See Darcy. And then we had Vikki Kempker. She's the owner of Upside Business Solutions. With the Colby, she does awesome Colby assessments. And then we have Dana Berggren, owner of the Coop, co-working space in Summerlin. So everything you need for your business is sitting right here.
That's right.
In this room for you.
With a bell that goes right along with it. Shh.
Still in her doorbell.
Yeah.
Well, thank you everybody who joined us today. Thank you very much for our guests. They were awesome. And we hope to see you next month at 50 Shades of Blonde right here on Facebook.
That's right.
So we'll see you next month.
Bye.
Bye.